Hello all. So in this video we are going to see about the autobiography I'm Malala written by Malala Yousafzai. So this particular video deals only the chapter 1, and actually Malala is a Pakistani Muslim girl. She fought for women's education. She's a social activist, and she got famous during 2012 because she got shot from Taliban's, the terrorist who opposed the women's education. And then This particular chapter is prescribed for the general English students, and the topics covered here are the Malala's birth in Pashtun culture, and then her name reason, and the descriptions of the Swat Valley and her life in Mingora, and how she got inspiration from Alexander the Great and Yousafzai tribe, and also about this administration system of them. Okay, so about the author, Malala is actually she is a youngest ever Nobel laureate. Became She actually got the Nobel Prize in 2014. She was into the activism in 2012, and she wrote this particular book in 2013 and got Nobel Prize in 2014. These are all the year sequence which we have to keep in our mind. And she was born in 1997 in Swat Valley. Her story is one of incredible courage and survival. It inspires millions around the world to fight for education and equality. And publication details: I Am Malala was co-authored by Christina Lamb, and it was published in 2013 in October 8th, 2013, and it tells the story of Malala's fight for education in the face of Taliban oppression. And it is published in two places, UK and US. In UK, Weidenfeld and Nicholson in UK, and Little Brown and Company in US. So the full title of this particular autobiography is I Am Malala, the girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban. So, a daughter's birth in Pashtun culture. So, in a society where daughters are often overlooked, Ziauddin Yousafzai, father of Malala, actually celebrated Malala's birth like never before. So, his defense of tradition, proudly placing her name on their family tree, set Malala on a path towards greatness, showing her that she was as important as any son. So this her birth is not actually welcomed by the people of Pashtun culture and Yousafzai tribes, but her father Ziauddin celebrated like anything. And her father's cousin also, Jahan Sher Khan, he also celebrated her birth and gave gift and money. Usually, boy babies will get the gift and money into their cradles, but here this girl, she is getting gift from her father as well as her father's cousin. But all other people in the village, they didn't welcome her in the way how the father he celebrated her birth. So, name after a heroine. She is named after Malai of Maiwand, a legendary Afghan heroine. So, Malala's name carried the weight of history and bravery. It was a constant reminder that, like Malalai, she could stand up for what is right, no matter the cost. So, she fought during the Malalai of Maiwand is an Afghan heroine who fought during 1818 in Second Anglo-Afghan War. All the male in the battlefield, they got lost, and they cannot move forward. During the time, she took in charge of the battlefield, and she entered with this particular white flag as shown in the image. And though she was shot by the Britishers and she died, the Britishers also faced a lot of damages, and they too got fear out of her actions. So Pashtuns also call her as a Joan of Arc. So this is the name reason for Malala. And Swat Valley means a beautiful place where mountains, rivers, and lushy greenery. It made it seem like a paradise. And even the name board in the entrance of the valley itself says "Welcome to Paradise." And also, this particular place is called as Udyana in ancient times, means garden, beautiful garden. And it is also called as Switzerland of the East. This is very important. This place, Swat Valley, is called as Switzerland of the East. And she describes the beauty and fruit orchards where delicious figs, pomegranates, and peaches we could get from the Swat Valley, and all the Mount Elam and how it touches skyscrapers. So she discusses all these things, and then moving on, princely states history. Here, once a princely state, Swat Valley had a history of leadership and struggle. This particular place is now under the control of Pakistan. It belongs to Pakistan, but earlier it was not actually. Ziauddin, Malala's father, would often share tales of the region's past, how the people fought to maintain their culture and autonomy against the British rule. So these stories actually shaped Malala's understanding of resilience. And she also mentions a writer as well as the British Lord Winston Churchill. He actually wrote about the place Malakand in and around the where Pashtun culture people lived in Malakand places. So this British battle, they faced a great tragedy in that place. So Winston Churchill mentioned this particular mountain pass in his book. So it was mentioned. It is also mentioned by Malala in this particular book. I am Malala. That the place is called as Churchill's Picket. Even now, the hill spot where the Britishers came for the fight is called as Churchill's Picket even now. And then life in Mingora. Mingora, the largest city in Swat, was Malala's home, a place of family, laughter, and memories for her. And their simple one story home with a flat roof was where Malala played, dreamt, and felt safe. So until the Taliban's dark shadow reached their peaceful life, she was very happy in this particular place. So the house is actually described in this way. It is a one-story concrete house, flat roof for playing cricket, and garden with the fruit trees and plum tree in the front yard. So this is how she explains her home. And then the place is also called as Gulkada means a place of flowers. And this Mingora is the largest city and only city in Swat Valley. And ancient Buddhist heritage. Swat's Buddhist past was rich with the ancient temples and statues. Ziauddin often spoke of the valley's history, teaching Malala that the tolerance and respect for all religions were crucial to her understanding of the world. This cultural mix would shape Malala's belief in unity. Actually, this particular place was invaded by the Islam. Muhammad of Ghazni, he invaded during 11th century. Until then, this Swat Valley was a Buddhist kingdom, where this can be noted from the documents of the Chinese explorers who wrote 1,400 Buddhist monasteries were found along the river Swat. They documented this. And moving on, the valley is filled with ancient ruins. So these are all the things we could find in that particular valley. Stone umbrellas, headless statues, and carvings of the Buddha sitting cross-legged on the lotus flowers shows that the Buddhist kingdom existed before the entrance of the Islam people. And Ziauddin Yousafzai also wrote a poem, father of Malala. He too wrote a poem, The Relics of Budkara. In that he mentions that both the temple and the mosque existed side by side. So this also depicts the Hindu-Muslim unity during those days. And the seasons in Swat Valley mirrored that Malala's childhood. She also mentions each season contains different kind of experience for her. So swat during the spring is with the fullest green and eucalyptus blossom coating everything white, pungent smell of the rice fields. And then moving on, the summer, hot and dry. So this is the favorite time of her because Malala's birth season is summer. And then autumn, chill winds arrive, mountains begin to change. And then winter, white snow everywhere, long icicles like daggers, snowmen, and snow bears. So as we all know, this place is called as Switzerland of East. So during the winter time, they'll be facing the extreme chillness. And then Alexander the Great's legacy. Alexander the Great's invasion of Swat is in 327 BC. 327 BC left a mark on the valley's history. So Malala, dreaming of climbing the Mount Elam as Alexander once did, symbolizing her own journey of ambition and defiance against the odds. So these people, during the invasion of Alexander, the people of Swat Valley, they went to Mount Elam and safeguarded themselves. So Alexander also, along with the soldiers, he came to this particular place, the Mount Elam, and it is said that he caught the star of Jupiter, which is an auspicious sign. So, like him, Malala also dreamed of climbing the Mount Elam, touching the Jupiter and going beyond the valley. And Malala's siblings, Kushal and Atal, were her companions and partners in adventure. Despite the fights and mischief, the bond between them was unbreakable. Their family unity actually is seen each and every scenes. So this Malala, she explains that her brother name is also taken from a Pashtun hero and a poet, Kushal Khan Katak, and her name is also taken from an Afghan heroine. So, and then moving on, 5 years later, Atal, her sister is born. Malala and Kushal fought constantly, running to their parents for the support. And then, so this particular girl, Atal, is born in 2004, curious like a squirrel. She is very active, enthusiastic like a squirrel. And Kushal, he loved to drink tea with milk and cardamom. So these are all the description of her family members. And her parents' marriage is a love marriage. Her mother name is Tor Pikai. So Tor Pikai means actually raven tresses. Raven tresses means she is having a black hair, a dark black dense hair. So her name means raven tresses, and she is beautiful and white lily skin. Her father is also used to describe her as a China vase. She is very white. She is a Muslim. Obviously, she might be white, and he describes, admires her like a fragile China vase. And unlike other men, he never laying hand on her. He didn't even thought to beat these girls. So this is different from the other men in their village. And also she loves to mother Torpekai, mother of the mother of the Malala. She loves to decorate herself with embroidered clothes and gold and jewels. And she also talks to the birds and feeds them. She's very homely. And then Ziauddin is Kaista Dada. His name means beautiful. Actually, his character is also very beautiful. Because he is very different from the other men in the particular Pashtun culture, and he shares everything with his wife. Yeah, so they got married, and they got married by love and not by the forced arrangements of the society. The Yousafzai tribe, Yousafzai, or one of the biggest Pashtun tribes, so originally from the Kandahar. Their origin, this particular tribe's origin is from Kandahar, and in 16th century they came to Swat from Kabul after helping a Timurid emperor. When 600 chiefs were massacred at the banquet, survivors fled to the Peshawar, then settled in Swat. This is the history of the tribes. From feudal chaos to unified rule. So the landlords of the particular place, this is the Last five important things said by Malala. So constant feuds, like the landlords frequently uh, they kept on torturing this particular families in the Swat Valley. And Britishers also entered in 20th century, and they also made great damages in that particular place. And Miagul Abdul Wadu, he is a king after the Britishers' rule in 1926. So, so he is also recognized as Bali by Britishers. So Britishers' rule ended, and this Miagul Abdul Wadu, he started his own way of administration in that particular place. And golden era is 1949. This is very important. Golden era is 1949 because the son of Miangun Abdul Wadu is Miangun Abdul Jahan Shah, brought prosperity by building schools, hospitals, roads, and ending the wish and tax system. He abolished the tax system. So we'll see what wish system is and tax imposed by that system. And modern Pakistan, 1969, the valley gave up power, and Swat joined the Pakistan's Northwest Frontier Province. Swat is joined along with the Pakistan's Northwest Frontier Province. So this is modern Pakistan. In 1969, it happens. And actually, waste system is every 5 to 10 years, the people will be changing their land so that all the good and bad will be shared equally. So they distribute and redistribute the land for every 5 to 10 years. Along with that, the land people who is plowing in the field or who is using the land, they have to pay tax for about 10 percentage to the owners and landlords. So the people actually they actually suffered a lot under the hands of the feudal lords. So this is the Vesh system, which is actually abolished by the Miangal Abdul Wadu, who is also called as Basha Sahib, and this system is ended in 1917. So finally, we came to the end, and these are all the some themes that we could contrast between the traditional expectations and Malala's dream. The traditional girls, they used to stay inside their home, cook, conserve for the men, and cannot go out. But here, Malala, she dreamt of going to Mount Elam to touch the Jupiter, star of Jupiter, like Alexander the Great, and go beyond the valley free as a bird. So finally, we are into the one words. So, in which year did Malala Yousafzai receive the Nobel Prize? 2014. What does Torpikai mean? Raven tresses. Who was Malai of Maiwand, an Afghan heroine who fought against the British in 1880? What was the ancient name of Swat Valley? Udyana, which is also called as garden. And Pashtun Valley, a code of conduct emphasizing hospitality and honor. In which year did Alexander the Great invade Swat? 327 BC. What does Nag mean in Pashtun culture? Honor. Who was the first valley of Swat? So valley is the people, Yousafzai tribes who follow the Pashtun culture. So that particular person, Miangul Abdul Wadu, is the first valley of Swat. And his son name is option A, which is given, Miangul Abdul Jahan Shah. And what was the Vesh system? A land redistribution system where families swap the villages every 5 to 10 years. When did Swat become a part of Pakistan? 1969. What is Usher? Usher is the 10% of tax which has to be paid by the peasants to the landowners in their Vesh system. And how many Buddhist monasteries were documented along the river Swat? 1,400. What does Tabar mean in Pashto? Both cousin and enemy. who was Kushal Katak, a Pashtun warrior and poet. His name is adapted for her brother, Malala's brother, Kushal. And in which century did Islam come to Swat? 11th century. And what is Mount Elam's significance? Sacred pyramid-shaped mountain Alexander climbed. So Alexander climbed this mountain. That is a great significance here. And he also wrote a book about that particular place. What was a Mingura's old name? Butkara. No, actually Mingura's old name is Udyana. So here it is given as Butkara. Kindly make a note of it. It is not Butkara, it is Budyana. It means, Udyana means a garden, beautiful garden. And how many chiefs were massacred in the Kabul vanguard? It's 600. What year was I Am Malala published? In 2013. And she got Nobel Prize in 2014. Who co-authored I Am Malala with Malala? Christina Lamb. And what does Gulkada mean? Place of flowers. And in which battle did Malay of Maiwan fight? Second Anglo-Afghan War in 1880. You have to keep this in mind, in 1880. What is the Yousafzai tribe original homeland? Kandahar. This tribe, they came from the place Kandahar. What nickname did Malala's mother gave her? Pisho. When was Malala born? July 12, 1997. So thank you so much for listening. We have come to the end. Thank you. Thank you.